him properly to put excess pressure on his back, his spine, because he has 30 years to work before he can retire. He wants to be able to walk when he retires and play with his grandkids. But now he only has about 2 years left to retire, if not less. And he's able to move about freely and easily because through the years he protected what? His back. Exactly. Exactly.
Anybody have any questions so far? You like what you're seeing? You want some more?
Yeah!
You did. And change the wheel. Alright, so we also use the standard inspection process.
One other thing.
Oh, sorry, Daryl, one other thing.
It's so important to watch where he places his fingers when he's changing that shoe, because if he does not bleed this car properly, or if anything happens in the yard to make the air fluctuate, he could lose a finger in a snap. So because of that, he never sticks his finger anywhere where it could be pinched. He always keeps it outside. There's this common urge to stick your hand in front of the shoe. It's quicker, but it's unsafe, and we don't do it. It's a practice we say no. People have lost through the years fingers and hands because of that. So we always watch pinch points. If you notice, I was filling out a card. We observe one another throughout our days, keep each other safe. If there was anything at risk that JR did, I would put it on this card. We would discuss all the good things he did, body position, his lifting techniques, and things like that. If there was something that he did wrong or that could cause him harm, then I'll also talk to him about that and warn him as to why he could get hurt and why he doesn't want to do that. And many times I tell him, I'm a living example of what goes wrong, but I survived it. So that's why we don't want to do it. All right, and so it gives him that reminder necessary when he's working by himself, he can watch things like that. Okay?
All right, so now JR is a full carman. He is also an inspector and a repairer. That means he can go into a repair shop, work either changing out wheels, which is what we also do. We change out wheels. Sorry we couldn't demonstrate it today. We wanted to, but there was things that just didn't follow through. Anyhow. He is a full carman, so he's able to change out the wheels, do all kinds of repairs, air test, single car air test on these cars itself, as well as inspect the train in the yard. JR, why don't you demonstrate us how you inspect the train using the 13-point inspection process? For those of you who have the poster, pass it around. That's part of our 13-point inspection. When JR is going through it, you guys can see it.
So everybody knows, this is like taking your car to Jiffy Lube and getting oil change is what we do to a freight car. Start at one end and go to the other. Their job is very important as far as inspecting. You know, tell these guys I take the inspection process a little more personal. I'm the local training coordinator for the Chicago Service Unit for the car department. My dad is also a locomotive engineer out of Proviso. So my dad gets on the trains that we inspect out of Proviso, as well as the trains that go out of Global One, you know, so it's a little more personal to me. So we came up with a 13-point inspection, basically for all our guys inspect the same way, so they know what they're looking at, know what they're looking for, no matter if you got 34 years or 6 months on the railroad. We're all doing the same thing all the time. So we're going to start at the end of the car, and just check out the safety features, make sure the couplers are intact, no pieces missing. Our air hoses are good, angle socks in good shape. Check our brakes, our safety appliances. Go down and check our wheels, our brake shoes, which JR just demonstrated. Make sure the car is on center. These cars are all held together by gravity. There is no bolts that hold this car to the trucks. There's a pin that sticks up as a guide.
JR is just handing me what we use all the time in the outbound yards and in the inbound yards in our inspection process. This is high technology right here, people, right in front of your eyes. This is what we use. Not those smartphones. Put those away. Who wants smartphones? We got technology right here. The laser cut gauges, okay? These, as you can tell, have a ruler on top, all right? Also, we use this as the point needle for our high flanges. This tells us if the wheels are defective or not for high flange. And when I talk about high flange, I'm talking about this part right here. This is called the flange on the wheel. This is what holds the wheel on the rail. Without this, the wheels will come off. All right? Also, you have what we call a thin rim, or I'm sorry, excuse me, thin flange gauge part of the gauge, which is right here. At any point that the rim of the, or I'm sorry, excuse me, the flange, notice this flange is actually a good flange because the flange itself can't go in the gauge. If this were a bad flange, it'd be able to fit, slide right in through here, and then we would have to take that wheel out of service. So, JR.
Why are you taking it out of service?
I got a ticket right here. We'll put it on right here.
Put it on.
Now, what he means by thin flange is when his train is running down the track, this car is going down the track, if you notice this switch point right here, a thin wheel can pick that switch. If it picks that switch, it throws the car off the track. So that's why it's important for imperative for us to find thin rims, because it rolls down the track and it will pick a switch and it'll jump the rail. Then you have a major derailment.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and put it back.
Also, one other thing, guys, if you notice when he checked the seal step, he put his foot on here. If this seal step is loose, broken, he can easily detect it with his body weight. If a conductor or engineer wants to climb on that car and we didn't inspect it and the bolts are missing or too loose, it could easily snap. There you have an injury. You have somebody that's hurt. So we in the car department take it very seriously because we keep not only the cars safe for running through your railroad or through your neighborhoods, but also the other departments that have to work with these trains. Everyone has to step on it. We want to make sure that they're safe as well.
Just a little couple facts about the car department and carmen in general. There's only 28,000 carmen in the United States. Not many people realize that.
Only 28,000.
Only 28,000.
28,000.
Only 28,000. So it's truly a craft for us as far as fixing the freight cars, working on the freight cars. We take pride in what we're doing. Put forth 100% effort, make sure everything's safe for everybody that goes through your neighborhood. You know, these trains, all these trains go through my neighborhood. I got other railroads that go through my neighborhood. You know, I had a cop pull me over and ask me why I didn't pull up next to the crossing at the crossing gate. I says, "We ever see one of these come off the track? It makes a nice big mess." You know, so keep in the back of your mind as you're going up to that crossing gate. You know, give yourself a little space. Thank you.
Okay. So now we're going to put the knuckle and everything back together and get you guys on moving back to what you guys were doing. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you guys want to stick around and watch this process, we'll show you. Oh.
Now they're gonna make this look real easy, but don't attempt this at home. Try it at home. I swear it won't work.
That's all. Let me take a couple more pictures, then you can take more.
Hey, Daryl.
Yes, sir.
Single car test gauge.
I'm sorry?
Test single car test gauge.
Well, they tested this one last night. It's all good to go. Yes.
I haven't done that in years.
Notice he's putting the locking block back in place. Hold on, he's coming out the bottom. Sorry. He always watches his pinch points. As always watches pinch points. With the inner workings of that locking block and throw, you can easily lose a finger or the tip of your finger.
How about basketball?
Again, what is he using? Good body mechanics. Always watching the hand that's resting. Make sure it's not in a place where it can get hurt. He always spreads that Carter key as well so that when the train is moving and it starts jiggling around, you can't pop